Hello, students. This is Purushottam Vishwakarma, and today we are going to study an elementary school classroom in a slum, class 12th, Flamingo, poetry chapter number 2, written by Stephen Spender. First of all, we'll study about the poet, Sir Stephen Harold Spender, born on 28th February 1909 and died on 16th July 1995. An English poet and essayist. He was an English poet and essayist. He took a keen interest in politics and declared himself to be a socialist and pacifist. Who is a pacifist? A lover of peace. This poem is a part of the book A God That Failed, which was published in 1949. So this poem is a part of his work A God That Failed, which was published in 1949. In this poem, he has concentrated on themes of social injustice and class inequalities. If you talk about the theme of the poem, it is social injustice and class inequalities. In the year 1965, he was chosen 17th Poet Laureate Consultant. About the poem describes the social inequalities which are prevailing in the society. This poem clearly depicts the social inequalities which prevail in the society. In the poem, the poet describes the condition of the students of an elementary school which is situated in a slum area. So, this poem revolves around a slum area primary school and elementary school. The poet wants to draw attention of everyone towards these kids. Who are these kids? Who are studying in the slum area elementary school. It's a lyrical poem about young children and the importance of education. What is the importance of education for them? If they are really getting the education required, and most of all, significant role of the teacher, importance of the teacher in their life. So let's begin the poem, line by line explanation. Far, far from gusty waves, the children faces. Far, far. These two words are repeated, and this repetition means suggesting the distance that is very far away. They are far away from gusty waves. Gusty waves here suggest means full of energy. So their faces, though children's faces are lacking in energy, they are far away from energy. Like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their pallor. Like rootless weeds, their hair seems to be rootless, careless, as if it hasn't been cared for a long time. The hair torn round their pallor, their Alois faces. So, what is this pallor? Their Alois faces. These two lines, the poet is trying to describe the pitiable condition of those children studying in slum area elementary school. How do they look like? They are very poor, stunted children, deprived children, and there is no energy in their faces. Their hair is compared to rootless weeds. So, this comparison is simile. Literary device simile is used here, like rootless weeds. There is metaphor as well in the first of all line, far, far from gusty waves. This is an example of metaphor. Their hair torn round their pallor. Their hair. Whose hair? Those children's hair is torn round their pallor. Pallor means yellowish face. The tall girl with her waist down head. Now we have studied about some children. There is a girl as well, a tall girl. The tall girl with her weight down head. How does she look like? As if there is a lot of burden on her head. The paper seeming boy with rat's eyes. If you talk about the burden of the girl, what is the burden? Burdens of life. Then comes the paper seeming boy. Paper seeming means just like paper, very thin, with rat's eyes. And how are the eyes? Inquisitive, like rats. There is the paper seeming boy, a very thin boy, whose eyes are inquisitive, searching for something, just like rats. The stunted means deprived, prevented. There are some other children who are deprived, prevented of facilities. Unlucky heir of twisted bones. And who are those children? They are unlucky heir of their fathers, of their forefathers, of twisted bones. Of these twisted bones, their bones have been twisted because of a disease. Reciting a father's gnarled disease. Reciting a father's gnarled. Gnarled means, literally, it means made rough with the age, with the passage of time. And in other words, if we say it is twisted, in Hindi it is known as gathiya. Of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, as he has inherited nothing else but his father's disease of twisted bones. His lesson from his desk. What is he doing? What is the boy, that stunted boy, the unlucky heir of his father, reciting? What is he doing? He is reciting his lesson. Where from? From his desk. So, in this poem, in starting, the poet is trying to tell us the pitiable condition of the children. Their hair seems to be rootless, as if it is not attached to their scalp. There is a tall girl with weighed down head. It seems that there is a lot of burden on her head. There is another boy who is very thin, paper seeming boy, with rat's eyes, with inquisitive eyes, searching eyes. There is another boy, the stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bones, who has inherited his father's disease of twisted bones. And he is reciting his lessons. Where from? From his desk. At the back of the dim class, at the back of the dim class, one unnoted, at the end of the classroom, there is one unnoted. Unnoted means who is unnoted. No one is caring about that boy. There is one unnoted, sweet and young. There is a boy who is very sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of a squirrel's game. Whose eyes are living, whose eyes are searching, whose mind is not present in the classroom, who is looking outside the classroom. His eyes live in a dream, as if he is dreaming of a squirrel's game. What is he thinking? What is he dreaming? Of a squirrel's game in tree room other than this. He is thinking about the tree room other than this classroom. So, in this line, there are two words portrayed. What are the two words? One that is inside the classroom, another imaginary world for that child, unnoted child who is sitting behind other children at the end of the room, dreaming of outer world. So there are two words mentioned. One is inside the classroom, another outside the classroom, where there is a squirrel. Now next stanza. On our sour cream walls, donations. The poet is trying to tell us the description of classroom. How does the classroom look like? Sour cream walls. The walls are dirty, dirty white because of uncared for many years. On sour cream walls, donations. What are there? There are some pictures hanging, which are donations, which are given as a part of charity. Shakespeare's head. What do we see there? There is Shakespeare's head. Cloudless at dawn. There are different pictures of Shakespeare, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities, and of high building. What do we see there? In the classroom, there are some pictures of high buildings. Dome, this is structure of dome. Belled, having bells. Flowery, Tyrolese valley. Some pictures are decorated with flowers, and there are some pictures of Tyrolese valley as well. What is Tyrolese valley? A beautiful ice free valley in Austria. Open handed map awarding the world its world. Once again, there is metaphor. Open handed map awarding the world its world. There is an open handed map drawn, which is awarding the world its world, which is trying to tell there is another world outside this slum area. And yet, for these children, these windows, not this map, their world. But for these children, these windows, these maps, these pictures are not their world because they are stunted, they are deprived, they are prevented from all these facilities, where all their future is painted with a fog. Where their future is painted with a fog, there is obscurity, there is no hope for them. They are living in obscurity, in darkness. They don't have any hope to be successful in their life, to get a prosperous life in future. So that's all in this video. This was part 1.